Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sam the SLB, and alongside me today is the man behind the Twitter, wrestling's voice of reason, Scott, as well as the third man, the man of many numbers, the bombastic stenographer, Jon The Stat Man. Also, we have with us the man in black from ATR Rising Sun, Ethan. We are coming to you from Above the Ring, Ship It Shooter's premier wrestling podcast covering all things AEW, WWE worldwide. Coming to you in between pay-per-views. Forbidden Door has come and gone, and we are just days away from Money in the Bank over in London, England. This is going to be a little different. We're going to be covering quickly going through the results from Forbidden Door. We're going to be going into the picks for Money in the Bank. Both shows have, I don't know use the word consequences, but both shows are part of the Ship It Studios Championship tournament we got going on. So big deal that we're covering both of these shows on one event. Guys, before we get into it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on anything you listen to, Ship It Studios and Above the Ring. Guys, how are we doing in between? How we feel about Forbidden Door? How are we feeling about Money in the Bank?
Forbidden Door was good. It was long, but it was good. I enjoyed it. Nothing overly terrible. There were some really, really, really good matches as well. I thought the pacing was real well. But yeah, overall, I liked it.
Me too. We went Forbidden Door. I actually like this year's a little better than last year's, but overall, there's a lot of good matches. I mean, there's some like they weren't overly like crappy. We'll talk about them, but round out each one after. But I'll give you my ratings after.
I think last year's was definitely better. No, last year's was better. Nothing terrible this year, but nothing all that great for me personally. But we'll get into it.
We will get into all of this. All right, guys, let's just dive right in. First and foremost, just for reference here, we did lose Adam Cole and Tom Lawler on the card.
Correct.
Due to Adam Cole being sick, flu, I forgot what it was. So that match got scrapped.
Sick as he goes off to play the new Crash Bandicoot.
I mean that's
Hey,
video games help you feel better. I mean,
He called in sick.
I don't want to be in Toronto. I want to be in, was it LA or something like that?
Yeah.
Seattle.
yeah, he was in LA, Seattle, and then he was like, "Look at my new Crash Bandicoot shoes." I'm like, "You fake fucker." You fucked over Tom Lawler.
Well, we've all done that.
We've all done that for our jobs. I'm not feeling so good. World of Warcraft comes out.
No.
Don't call me out, Sam.
I think I did that.
Calling you out, Scott.
I did that for a couple of things. I think one of them was when Fallout 4 came out. I did something similar. Like, I worked overnights too, so I was able to get like 48 hours straight of gameplay in.
Nice.
I think I did it for one of the Assassin's Creed. We're getting off the topic of video games now, but yeah. But we've definitely done it.
Fuck it. Let's keep going. Well, I did it once too for Crash Bandicoot. I'm like, all right, I'm calling off.
So Ethan will be calling out when the next one comes out. Just so everyone knows, Ethan will not be here.
I'll be here. I'm not Zach. I don't fucking bail out.
well, we'll talk about the champion once we get to the Money in the Bank picks. There's a particular reason why the champion's not here, and he has unfortunately left some words to say to the rest of the crew here. I have not read it yet myself, so my reaction will be genuine as well, but we'll talk about that once we start talking about Money in the Bank.
I'm looking forward to this. So
am I.
Let's hop over to Forbidden Door. Pre-show, we had 4 matches. I'm so glad that they added everything else to the pre-show. Because we actually, if I'm not mistaken, this show ended by midnight.
Yep.
Before midnight. It was still long, but it ended on time.
Yep.
But open match, we had the Mogul Embassy, Swerve Strickland. I can't even pronounce their names. I know the embassy. Ethan wants to say the names. I can tell he's antsy.
I am antsy. Brian Cage, Toyo, Leona, and Khan.
Yeah, they defeated Chaos, Rocky Romero, Chuck Taylor, Treparetta, and El Desperado. I mean, these are all pre-show matches. I think my opinion is going to be the same. They all pretty much, were pre-show matches. They weren't bad. They weren't great. They were enjoyable.
They were nice exposure matches, especially for the New Japan people that don't get a chance to watch, that product. So it's nice to see them out there.
I can tell you that my opinion on all the pre-show matches is the same because I didn't watch them.
I
That's
gave
fair.
this one. I gave this one 6 out of 10. The 8-man
Yeah.
tag.
All right. I think I don't even know what I was going to say because I was going to say the next one, but then I'm looking through the card. And actually, the pre-show, next up was Athena defeating Billy Starks. I think this was the second match.
Third. Sorry.
Third?
Yeah, because they did Willow and Nyla on Collision the night before.
Okay. So this is the third Owen Hart Cup tournament match. Great to see Athena. Billy Starks, young talent. I think I just saw her at a GCW show, if I'm not mistaken. But again, this was good. This was a good opener to the tournament.
7 out of 10, and she gets Willow in the next semifinals. I can't wait for that one. Battle of the Women's Champs, baby.
That's good.
Oh yeah, John didn't see it. I was waiting for John. Yeah, what are your thoughts? And he's
No,
like,
those I was.
John skipped the pre-show.
I had no words for the match because I really don't.
And A.
and scene. Following this might have been a highlight for me, and I think personally I would not be mad for this individual to sign. But El Phantasmo defeating Stu Grayson via pinfall. The match was good. There was some good chemistry, but El Phantasmo's entrance with the AEW setup, most of the time, for those of you who don't watch the New Japan stuff, half the time they're in these I hate to use the word bingo hall, but they're usually in like gymnasium, bingo hall. So they don't really even have a setup. They have their music play. So half the time they're walking out from behind a curtain. Here, it reminded me of Naomi's a little bit.
Okay.
Where the lights went out, you kind of really wanted to get into it. But to me, that was a highlight of the pre-show, personally.
Battle of Canadians. I love it. But I remember people were like, hey, look, it's Logan Paul. I'm like, you fucking assholes. Disrespect.
Don't say no. Don't do that.
Don't do that. You did it dirty. But I give this one 6 out of 10 as well.
Not anything, or just kind of like the same thing. It's pre-show.
Pre-show.
It's a match. Scott really wants to talk about Money in the Bank and start dropping picks. That's what he's waiting for.
I'm ready.
He's ready to lose again.
God damn it, Sam.
And then the last one we had Lost in Global Day Japan, Shingo Takagi, Bushi, and Hiromu Takahashi defeating the United Empire of Jeff Cobb, Kyle Fletcher, and TJP. Another good showcase.
Yep.
Love it.
TJP is still around?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
He's actually been he was in the Best of the Super Juniors. He's actually in New Japan quite often.
Nice.
Yeah. I like this one. I kind of wish Shingo was on the pre-show. Even Shingo flat admitted he didn't want to be on the pre-show. He was disappointed. And the Kesha called him out. So let's get that match, TK book. Come on.
Right.
It's going to happen at some point.
But
going into the main card here, everyone's going to have an opinion on these. Opening match, the AEW World Championship kicking it off. It kind of reminded me of WrestleMania 35 where Seth and Brock took each other on. MJF taking on, defeating Hiroshi Tanahashi. I almost said Hiromu for a minute.
Hiromu Tanahashi. And there you go.
Yeah. I mean, MJF doesn't need to wrestle often, but he knows how to wrestle when he's in that ring. And again, with a legend like the Ace himself, this was great. This was solid. Great opener.
The ending was classic MJF, though. I mean, this was one of those free picks on the bingo card. We had a few of those during this show, but it still was entertaining to watch.
It was entertaining. Honestly, I get Tanahashi. I love Tanahashi, but like he looked kind of rough. He looked better in the match with MJF than with Swerve. And people were like, I think Tanahashi should just like stay with the G1 and all that. But I don't know. I think he should be retiring pretty soon. But Honestly, I like this match. I give this one 7 out of 10, but Tanahashi looked kind of rough this weekend.
Um, yeah, this is the first match of the main card, but technically the sixth match overall in this pay-per-view. I didn't think this match was very good. Like, this is not one of MJF's better matches. Like, it seemed like, he really didn't want the match, but I felt like during this match he wasn't even really trying because he didn't really want to be there. Like, he didn't actually want to wrestle Tanahashi. So I felt like that played into it a little bit. Like, he didn't want to be there, so he's like, I don't really care. I'm not gonna try. And it's I kind of agree with Ethan here. Like, Tanahashi did not look very good to me either. There's something about these Japanese wrestlers that I'll get into more as we go through a lot of the matches, but I wasn't crazy about this, and we also knew what the outcome would be, so I think that took away from the match too.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah.
like don't get me wrong, I do like Tanahashi. Don't get me wrong, but like the match was it was good, but like, oh my god, he looked looking, and then like the MJF, he looked a little bit better, but she's like, dude, like take a break. I honestly, I think he should took this year's G1 off. To be honest with you.
He's getting old. He's not getting any younger. Hopping from there. Sorry, Ethan. Did you give your rating on this?
Yeah, 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Okay. So following that, we had CM Punk's return pay-per-view match, taking on and defeating Satoshi Kojima in, I believe, the first men's Owen Hart Cup tournament match. And Ethan, his hands were up for some reason.
He said the name right. He said the name right.
Of course. How many times is Kojima on TV? Every time this comes around, I mean, he's actually outside of Forbidden Door. He's been on AEW TV a few times.
Yeah, he had the match with Moxley, a couple years ago, and then. But I actually really enjoyed this match. I laughed when Kojima elbowed him in the crotch, and then everybody's like, "Did he elbow him in the crotch?" And Tad's like, "Right in the game, bag."
No.
The tweet that he put out afterwards too. He's like, I didn't do it on purpose. I don't have the technology. He's dying.
Hey, MJF posted his tweet about Tanahashi halfway for his match.
Like, he scheduled it. He's like, I knew it'd beat him. It's like, whatever.
I won't lie. When I heard Kojima, I was like, wait, the guy that created Metal Gear Solid? Like, no, that's Hideo Kojima.
It could be his brother. No, but I actually really enjoyed, and also I did really enjoy it. I mean, like the last match, it was pretty predictable, but I mean, hey, sometimes predictable is a good thing. But I can't wait for him and Joe. Sorry, Roderick, I like it, but you're not getting past Mojo.
Oh god, him and Joe is going to be that. Yeah, it's gonna.
Well,
be
I already said my finals. I said Punk and Powerhouse Hobbs.
That'd be a great final too.
Won't be mad if it's Ricky there. Early picks.
Are we
Johnny,
saying our thoughts for this match?
Who, me?
Anybody?
Oh, I was waiting for you, John. I thought you.
Oh, wait for me. All right. Again, something about these I wasn't like we all know that I've been crazy about CM Punk returning and all that, and I mean he was fine here, but I never heard of this Satoshi Kojima, and we want to talk about Hiroshi Tanahashi looking old. Like, he's 46, so now we jump to a 52-year-old guy that looked even more stiff. So I
like he's about to leap out of the camera.
No, I wasn't crazy. I wasn't crazy about this.
Hey, he was better than Tanahashi, but still, I mean, hey, it's John's opinion. I don't care. But hey, he doesn't watch New Japan much anyway, so
this is a lot of the older talent that they had for these first couple of matches.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we had the follow-up match, I guess we'll get into. We got some younger talent, but no, I enjoyed this for what it was. I thought this was a good showcase. Kind of, and I don't know who CM Punk has wrestled over in Japan, prior to going to WWE. So it'll be nice to kind of see these little, kind of like Bryan Danielson in the main event here. Right. See people who you may have never seen him wrestle 20 years ago because of his status.
Yep.
No, we good. We got here.
That's true.
Next match, Sam. Next match.
Next up, This one I was really looking forward to. I didn't think this one was, hard at all, but I'm also a sucker for Zack Sabre Jr. Orange Cassidy defeating Sabre Jr., Katsuyori Shibata, and Daniel Garcia to retain the international championship. This is exactly what I thought this match was going to be like.
Yep.
And it was fun.
We all called who's going to get the pin, who he would pin. Like there was yeah. Yeah. The match was good. I love the spots that they all had was great, but we all knew. We were just waiting. Like, when is Daniel Garcia going to get pinned by Orange Cassidy? And yep, sure enough.
No, I enjoyed this one as well. I'm not a big Garcia fan. I went since JS, but I did like the whole like Shibata and Sabre Jr. punching him in the face, and he's just like dancing, and then they're like, "All right, we're gonna beat the fuck out,"
Yep.
But you figure, because like Sabre Jr.'s the TV champ, because Shibata's a pure champion. Like, you're not pinning them two. Oh, I guess you could, but and then Garcia's like the only non-champion, so it's just like, all right, I guess I'm getting pinned. 7 out of 10, by the way, for this match.
John's laughing, so this should be good.
Go ahead, John. Let's hear the Stat Man rant.
I hated this. What? First off, what the fuck is this dance Daniel Garcia does now? What is that? He's like, we're not doing video here, but I just tried to mimic it there. I'm like, what is he doing? I don't know. This match was just full of stupidity. Like, it was another one where we knew who was going to come out on top, and we knew that Gold Garcia was going to take the pin here.
Yep.
And I guess the guy that looked the best out of this match would be Katsuyori Shibata. He actually had a younger Japanese guy in there. Oh, well, I know. No, he's 43. He doesn't look 43. He does.
He don't look 43. No.
He looked like he was in his 30s. Wow, I'm actually surprised by that. All right.
Us old people don't just fall apart once we hit 40,
I guess not everybody. But yeah, this match, I fast forwarded through this match.
Oh. I figured you would. Since we heard Pocket's like, well, we're done.
Yeah, he's like, oh, we're done.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
All right, Mr. SLB.
All right. Okay. Following that, we had our other IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, our other world title match. Sonata taking on defeating Jungle Boy Jack Perry. I personally thought that this match was a lot better than I thought it was going to be, especially at the 10-minute, 11-minute marker. Pretty decent. I would definitely, use this as a way to show off New Japan talent to other people who watch New Japan. And Sonata looking good, especially as champion. He's no Okada, but there's a reason that man has the title on him.
True.
Yeah, I found it didn't get out of second gear. I couldn't get out of first gear, and I like when he hit the moonsault, but it was just over in the fans for they just went to. It felt like when you cut a huge fire in church, and it goes quiet for a second. But 10 minutes, it just ended out of nowhere, just kind of oh, that was the finish. I don't know. I just found I couldn't get out of first gear. Honestly, I give this one 6 out of 10.
There were a couple matches on this card where I was just like, oh, that's how it ends.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I get this one, honestly, for the main show. This is probably the weakest thing of the show. Honestly. Your turn, John. Let's have another Stat Man rant.
I liked this match.
Good job, buddy.
Is this just opposite day here on the program? What's going on here? I like this. I never heard of Sonata before, and I know he's the IWGP World Champion, but he's actually pretty good. And he was working with somebody like Jungle Boy, Jungle Boy needs to work with somebody in his matches that can lead him, because he's not quite there yet. He's still super young, and I felt like that's what happened here. I think there was a few spots in here where it was like, yeah, but Sonata was really helping him, and Sonata's one of the youngest New Japan guys that was on the card here. I think him and
He was,
Okada,
yeah.
I believe him and Okada are the same age, I believe, at 35.
Something like that, yeah.
This actually wasn't too bad, and then I guess we could talk a little bit about the heel turn at
that's
the end
true.
of this match here.
That's true.
Somebody said that he should join JES. No, keep him away from JES.
No.
Bring in a JO and put Hollywood Jack Perry there. That's how.
Yeah, the heel turn on Hook. I mean, I feel like a lot of people kind of saw it coming.
Yeah.
But I like it, but now I kind of feel like what happens with Jungle Boy. Now, like, part of me feels like is he going to go back to Christian and Luchasaurus, and they'll all be a heel group. I don't know. I kind of feel like where's he going to go from here? Obviously, now he's going to have the match with Hook. I would not be surprised if he'd be the first person to beat Hook, but I could also see Hook just absolutely demolishing him in like 2 minutes.
Chaz was pissed on commentary. He took the glasses
No,
off.
I liked that. Obviously, because we all know Taz is Hook's father. So, but just the way he responded to the whole thing, I was sitting back on my couch watching this, and I just had this big smile on my face. I'm like, it feels real, and it's just, I hope that we see a little bit more of Taz calling Hook's match, especially if he has to fight. Well, obviously, he's gonna fight Jack Perry at some point.
I thought if Taz had to fight, I'm like, oh, don't tease me like that, Scott.
No. If this was 20 years ago, Taz would have already killed him by now. But this also makes me wonder, do you think he drops Jungle Boy and just goes as Jack Perry now?
I can see that. Hollywood Jack Perry.
I think he should definitely ditch the Baltimore stuff. Like, no more Tarzan Boy. None of that. I think he should switch it up somehow.
I do agree with that, yeah.
You think he cuts the hair and comes out in like a suit?
I wouldn't cut the hair, honestly. I'd go see the suit, though.
Put it up in a ponytail.
Or how about do a hair versus hair match with Hook?
Ooh. I like
Do
that.
that.
I like that.
Yeah.
That could work.
Man, John's on the ball tonight.
Right?
Yeah.
Commissioner John.
All right. Well, we all know we want one person's thoughts on this next match here. The Elite defeating the Blackpool Combat Club. We had with the Elite, Hangman Page, I almost said the Jackson Brothers, Young Bucks, Eddie Kingston, and Tomohiro Ishii defeating Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, Konosuke Takeshita, and Red Shoes' son, Shota Umino.
Shooter.
I'm honestly surprised that the BCC lost this. More surprising that Takeshita lost. He didn't get pinned, but with how hot they've been building him, to have his team lose, to me, I don't know, it seemed like it was out of place. Like, I don't see where the Elite really gains anything from this.
Especially since Don Callis doesn't even walk out with them or doesn't show up.
No.
Right. That I also felt that was maybe a little weird. Like, maybe he should have shown up and then disappeared, or like what happened in the later match, which we'll talk about. He gets tossed and he should have, stayed away. But again, we'll talk about that once we get to that.
We'll talk about
match.
that in a minute.
Yeah, the match was what I expected it to be, but yeah, it felt a little out of place. Like I don't know. Like the booking was weird for me. I just thought, like, storyline wise, it just didn't make proper sense for the Elite to win.
Yeah, the way it ended, I enjoyed it. It was exactly what you expected. But the ending, it's like, okay, well, what do you do now? Especially since we're rumored to have Blood and Guts in Boston, so that's going to be happening next month, next few weeks now. And if they, what is the Elite win? Come out on top, and it's like, oh, okay. Whereas I feel like BCC just reformed almost.
Right.
So,
I guess they didn't want one side to have all the victories through the night. Like, they gave the Elite the win. Omega lost later on in the night. And at the same time, the BBC, they lost. And Danielson picked up the victory later in the night.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I guess maybe they wanted to keep it 50-50.
Okay, I can see that. I
Who
can.
knows? Who knows what Tony Khan's thinking in that head of his?
That's true.
I really enjoyed this match. I give this one 9 out of 10. Ethan pick. I did call Yuta getting pinned.
That's true. You did.
I did love how Takesha, like, he had Eddie in the camel clutch and Ishii tried to break it up and Takesha knocked him the fuck out.
I was like, what?
Let's have that match, please.
Just leveled them.
Smoked
Like the Bucks
him
looked
with
like
the
they
elbow.
were rip shit too after that happened. I was like, wait, is this a shoot? Like, what happened here?
Yeah, because Ishii's just like, bring it on, Takesha. Like, all right, bam.
She
Smoked
just
him.
collapsed. I was like, holy shit.
And then, I mean, I kind of figured they were going to do kind of like what John said, like 50-50, but now I guess they do the tiebreaker and blood and guts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to add to this since we've been talking about older talent. John, Shota Umino is the second youngest person on this card at the age of 26.
Okay.
Yeah, me
And
and him
then-
the same age. That's crazy.
Kyle Yeah, I heard that. You said what? You're the same age as
Shota Umino, yeah.
Kyle Fletcher is 24, so there was some younger folk here.
And then
Yeah.
Hook.
Oh, I was just talking Japanese guys. I didn't look at Umino.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just talking about the whole Ross as a whole, but yeah, he would have been. Well, actually, by that case, if you talk about Japanese-born wrestlers, Shota Umino was the youngest from
Yeah.
New Japan on this card.
I caught Sam off with that comment.
Yeah.
Moving on, we have the Tony Storm take on and defeat Willow Nightingale for the AW Women's World Title.
Again, I felt like this was another easy win on the bingo board. You know, we all knew
Yeah.
Willow wasn't going to get 2 titles. I mean, they're actually doing something. I'm actually starting to enjoy the stuff they're doing with the Outcasts. So I'm glad they're actually, you know, they have some momentum now. So why cut the legs out from under it? Let it keep
Yeah,
going.
exactly.
And Tony's never a bad champion.
No,
No matter where she's been, she's always been a good champion. So let her run with it as far as she can.
my least favorite thing for any book company to do booking wise is if you create a heel stable and then you just squash them
Correct.
because it becomes a joke stable by that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when you
Yeah.
create a stable like, you know, like the Outcasts, and I agree with you, as long as they stay dominant or predominantly dominant,
Yeah.
it's good content.
Yes.
It is good content.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like this match, like, but like kind of like with Scott, it was just that, like, it was an easy, like, we kind of knew because like Wells in the women's on her cup, and you don't want to put the title on her and lose. Tony
Right.
just won the regained the title, and then like she just won him. Like, don't be like the team, don't hot potato it. But
Correct.
I give this one 6 out of 10, but like it was just there. It was like we knew who was winning, but and plus Wells going to Japan next week anyway, so you don't want to have your women's team not there.
Right. Exactly.
Your turn, John.
Yeah, this match was a dud. As this, I mean, it was, I believe the only, well, not counting the pre-show, one of the shortest match, and on the main show, and the only women's match. But yeah, it was what it was. I don't have much to say on it.
Well, I guess we'll go talk about the most important match of the night. Will Ospreay defeating and becoming the new IWGP US champion against Kenny Omega in a 40-minute banger.
Yes.
Well, 3 out of 4. Actually, 4 out of 5 say it's a banger.
Yes.
I mean, I did something that I never do. I went back and rewatched the match after the pay-per-view. Normally, I just let it go the first time, let it sink in my head, and then I let it go once we finished talking about it. But I went back and rewatched it. And yeah, that the story they told, like the wrestling itself was yes. But the story that they were telling, for me, that's really what grabs me in these types of matches, is that, I didn't even watch the Wrestle Kingdom match. I just didn't have the time. And I've already heard from a lot of people that this match was better. So I'm like, all right, that's fantastic. I love to hear it. I hope that there's a third match, whether that's going to happen due to possible injuries to both wrestlers. But we'll see. But yeah, I thought this was easily, far and away, the best match on the whole card.
I broke my scale. I went 20 out of 10 on this match. Thanks, Scott. But honestly, out of the two, I like this one a tiny bit more than the Wrestle Kingdom one. And spoiler, I got my top 10 matches made for this year already. And two of them in future, both of these guys. But
Nice.
But like these two are like great professional. They're my top favorite wrestlers that like ever, like the last couple of years. But this, I can't say enough good things. I can't do it justice. This fucking ruled. My only nitpick though was Don Callis he gets kicked out, comes back, and he does the.
Oh, that was bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
was
really
my only nitpick, and like Johnson, that was bullshit. But like they kick him out, and then like they're like in the ropes, and then like Callis is doing. Remember at the Rumble Scott where Heyman's trying to unlock Roman,
Yes.
and he takes a little too long.
Yes.
Callis is like, it's like, oh come on, dude, like beat this up.
Who was the referee this match?
Paul Turner,
who's normally one of the really
Wow.
wrestlers.
yeah.
Well, he should. When Callis came out, he should have been like, "Get out!" Like he was for a little bit. Like he was like, "You got to go," and then he just gave up, and he just let him stay there.
Yeah.
Did you even know security guards were there for literally 30 seconds and then like they fucked right off?
Pretty much.
Like, what was the point of that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, going off of that, that's I think something that is becoming a bigger issue, I think, in wrestling world as a whole. It was actually, and I've talked to Scott about this thoroughly, and I'll bring it up again. The main event for WrestleMania this past year, the biggest flaw from that was the fact that Solo Sikoa jumped up on the mat immediately after they counted 3 and rung the bell. So in a similar fashion, it's like, okay, they've been kicked out. And now we're just going to be like, oh, yeah, you're here already.
Yeah.
Cool, they won. We're not going to think shenanigan. It kind of takes away from, I don't want to use the word realism, or it kind of
it kind of does.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, oh, we're just gonna pretend like, yeah, nothing happened.
Right.
But yeah,
it's the flow of how it's supposed to go. I don't want to. I'm not trying to rhyme here. I promise.
But yeah, this is one I would rewatch. Probably watch the other two back to back, kind of like I did with Omega Okada for like a good 2-3 years.
God, those were. Woo.
Before we Sam, before we move on, like what Scott said for the third match, I could see him doing it all in because Oscar's gonna be in the G1, so they probably want to wait till after G1.
Right.
That's what I hope. I hope it's an all in. I hope, and again, Will Ospreay should win this trilogy.
He should, yeah.
He should win the
agree.
trilogy. I was hoping Omega would, and then it'd be like, oh, you can't win without,
Don Callis.
And then he would have won the belt in London, which I think would have been an insane pop. But, Will Ospreay definitely needs to win the third one. I think in all in would be great. I'd be, you play off the, hey, you had Don in your corner. You can't win without Don. And then Ospreay's like, yeah, I'll show you. And then boom.
Let's go across the world, guys. Japan, Canada, and then England.
Right? So see, we're going to have some Vince Russo booking in a minute for a second here. We're going to have Don Callis on a pole match.
Bro. He forgot the bro. But Scott's not wrong though. Well, I mean, because like Omega had Callis at Wrestle Kingdom, and then Ospreay had Callis here. You know what? Fuck it. TK just got from on the shark cage.
There you
on
go.
A pole.
Yep.
On a pole. All right, let's talk about this calm down match.
Right.
John, did you give me your thoughts on this one already? Yeah.
I did not.
Oh, sorry, John. I thought you did.
This was. I feel like the matches between these two works better in New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Wrestle Kingdom match actually worked, and that was not bad. Like I actually enjoy watching both of them like in that environment. some reason. Something about it makes it better. Even Kenny coming out to his Final Fantasy stuff or whatever he does is better there than it is here. So I think that's what did it for me. It didn't feel the same as Wrestle Kingdom for me. So and the thing with Don Callis just pissed me off. I'm like,
That
come
was
on.
my only nitpick. Yeah, I agree with John on that
Yeah,
one.
that was
Hot take.
that kind of soiled the match for me, and really long match too. Jesus, almost 40 minutes of this.
It beats a Wrestle. What's up, Sam?
I was gonna say, what was the length of the Wrestle Kingdom one?
Let me look up real quick. 1 sec.
No, I will.
We have a stat off.
You the Jeopardy music.
Well, don't wait on us.
Well, while they pull up the stat, I think one of the best things that this card had going for it, and again, I don't think there was any match that was garbage, personally. But I felt like this card was layered perfectly. We had a good match. And
34 minutes and 38 seconds was the Wrestle Kingdom match.
Okay, so
Fuck you.
5 minutes more. Okay.
But by the way, hot take: Kenny Omega is better than New Japan than AEW.
Oh, no, that's not a hot take. That is a fact, sir. 100%.
I don't like him. I don't like him, but that's true.
I don't know what.
See, look, I said something right that John actually agreed because I know he's not a big fan of Kenny Omega. But
it's something about Japan that makes, and I think, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the camera quality. I think like even watching WWE sometimes, everything's got to be in HD and it's got to be lit up and it's got to look polished. Where when you watch, New Japan, it feels like you're watching some very raw Olympic footage from like the 90s or the 80s that feels real. Like it feels real. You're not watching entertainment anymore.
Right.
You're watching like a sport.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's easier for me, for example, in my free time, I can throw New Japan on and I feel like I'm watching or listening to something very important where maybe I'll throw AEW on or I'll throw WWE on. I'm watching wrestling. It might just be that.
Pro Wrestling Noah's got some great like fucking camera work. Like it looks like it's HD, and it's like, come on, New Japan, steal Noah's like camera crew.
So what I was getting at here before we while they look up that stat, I felt like this card was layered correctly. We had a good match, and then you had a match you knew that the crowd was going to be a little more relaxed on.
Mm-hmm.
Great match, cool down, great match, cool down. So, and again,
that was 34 minutes.
Yep.
So, this match I didn't hate, but it definitely helped with the cool down. And
I think I can give a stat in.
I didn't at first understand why the US match was the third match, but after, it makes sense, especially after seeing it. So we had Sting, Darby Allin, and Tetsuya Naito defeat Les Suzuki Gods, Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and of course, Murder Grandpa, Minoru Suzuki.
Why the fuck was Suzuki pinned? That was stupid. No, you did no.
Does Minoru Suzuki take the cake for the oldest guy on this card?
Yes,
I think so.
He does. 55.
55.
He beats Kojima by 3 years.
55. He looks 70.
Jesus.
That's why he's Murder Grandpa, guys.
That's true.
So just true. Actually, I'll bring this up off the show. It has to do with his age, but we'll talk about that later. Minoru Suzuki, doesn't matter how old he is, he always goes over. Should always go over.
I like how, but like it was stupid how like Suzuki was like Darby dared him to hit him, so Suzuki's like, all right, let's beat the fuck out of you. And then Jericho's like, tag me in because it was Sting. Honestly, I liked Sting and Suzuki stuff better than Jericho and Sting. Like when Jericho tagged in the crowd,
Me too.
The crowd was like, meh.
At the beginning, they were like, "Oh my god, here we go!" And then after that, they were just like, "Yeah, they're meh, whatever." But yeah, his stuff with Suzuki was great.
I'd rather see that match than Jericho and Sting. You know what? I'm gonna pull a fence first. I have a fucking baseball bat match. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then fucking Sammy like did a 630 Sting trying to move out of the way and like took himself out.
I think Sting was supposed to move.
I think so too.
Sammy was supposed to crash and burn because if you remember, after that, like 2 minutes later, Sting's in the ring, no selling everything. I'm just like, oh, all right, yep. Sammy was supposed to miss, and Sting probably just, I don't know, wanted to take a quick nap, and it's like, oh shit.
Well, we're
Too
seeing
late
him
to get
tonight
out
on
of the way.
Dynamite, so I give this one 6 out of 10. By the way, Matt Suzuki got pinned.
And I think if I remember correctly, I think John just fast forwarded through this whole match to do watch. I believe.
I did not watch a second of this match.
Figured.
Not because I didn't want to, just because for time's sake.
Argument.
I think I was the only one to watch this live. I think.
Yeah.
No, I ended up going through the. Remember when I?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we were talking.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Um,
Because I know everybody else wanted to. There was just too much. It was a Sunday night, ending at midnight. Everybody else.
It was 1 a.m. It was almost 1 a.m. my time.
That's true. It was 1 a.m. for you. That's right. Yeah.
I figured you passed out at some point because there's only Scott and I talking by like 11.
Yeah, I woke up and Scott's like, "Here's your points." When I was like, "Fuck." God damn it.
All right, so we're going to talk about the coveted main event, a dream match. Bryan Danielson defeating Kazuchika Okada via submission.
All right, Sam, Greg, go ahead, go.
What do you think he's trying to do?
This, I really enjoy. I did enjoy this. It actually, I think this match, the fact of knowing that Bryan Danielson broke his arm 10 minutes and decides, no, we're going an extra 20 still.
Yeah.
Says a lot about that man.
Yeah. Because I think
is that when he did it?
Like 10 minutes in.
Yeah, 10 minutes in, yeah.
I should have looked for it because I literally just watched the match like an hour ago. I should have looked for that. I wasn't looking because I realized after especially when I saw the ending of the match, and that's when I remembered. I was like, oh yeah, he breaks his arm at some point, but I didn't look for when.
I tried to find it too. I couldn't because I was spoiled by that part because like Daniels would talk, and I went like when I was watching, I was trying to see where I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah. Because I think it was also you, Ethan, that said that this match was supposed to go 20, 30 minutes longer.
Yep.
But they decided to stop
I
because
was that close to a time limit draw.
You were so close to a time limit draw.
I was like, fuck. But I like this one. I give this one 10 out of 10. But fuck. They should like it was should have brought more in. Like people would say like they didn't bring everything to the table. Like, but I mean it's the first match. Like they're gonna have another rematch. Wrestle Kingdom.
Right.
All right,
and now with Bryan Danielson being out, for an undisclosed amount of time because of the broken arm, I fully expect promos from home or from somewhere, just him being, and I talked about this during our pick show, that I hope he wins and then he just turns into the most obnoxious son of a bitch in the entire world. And then Okada obviously is going to challenge him for a rematch. And now Okada's probably going to make him tap out, which is going to be another surprising thing because Bryan Danielson doesn't tap.
That's the first time Okada's tapped out since 2015 when Nakamura made him tap out of the G1.
Really? Wow. And to do it with a broken arm, that's going to be, oh my God. That's all
right, Bryan Danielson would have broken
even more fuel for the fire. Yeah.
Broken fucking arm first Kurt Angle with a broken freaking neck.
Right? Yeah. I look forward to his promos. Obviously, I want him to heal up and come back and, and still do great things. But now is the time for him to rub this salt in Okada's wounds for months.
You two are the only two that called Danielson. I was like, as soon as we're finished recording, I was like, fuck, I should have said Danielson. Oh, well.
Sam and I just had a feeling.
Either way, I wasn't mad. I can't wait for the rematch. Whatever that's going to be.
John, thoughts?
This was underwhelming. I feel like, is it just become a new curse? Like anybody that works with Okada at Forbidden Door gets injured.
Oh, yeah, because Adam Cole last year. That's right. Yeah.
Like Adam Cole, like I don't like. I'm not saying that like Okada is causes injury. I'm not saying that. But I'm like, is this a new thing where like Okada just is put into these matches every year just randomly at Forbidden Door, like all the other Japanese wrestlers are? Like, put all the booking aside, Tony, and just randomly put in the Japanese guys.
Spin the wheel, make a deal.
Yeah,
Scott got that.
I'm wondering if this is a new thing. I'm trying to see when Bryan Danielson broke his arm, but I'm trying to find clips here on YouTube. I haven't found anything yet, just that he did it. But
A
yeah,
lot of
that
people have said
finish.
that what John said though, that it was pretty
I
underwhelming.
I thought that maybe he did it later on in the match, and that's why they went to that finish. Because that finish, let's be honest, not that great.
Yeah, I mean, he was
Like,
Danielson had the submission move with one good arm, and he's trying like desperately to hold on to the other one.
yeah. I did read here that he was in pain every time he tried to do the label lock, which I get.
That looked like, yeah, I seen that too. Like he was like when he was locking it in, he was like,
yeah, you could,
Yeah.
He was when I used to break my arm, so I kind of can relate how like because what he was doing, he was like almost hesitant to do it,
yeah,
and then he's like,
That's why he used his leg at the end.
yes,
Okay,
instead of using
what I
his
thought.
arms. Yeah.
I didn't know if he broke. But my other nitpick was like when he was doing this, like people were saying he was doing this the seizure spot, and then like,
Oh, I didn't like that either.
yeah, that was.
This
I
fake
didn't like that.
convulsing.
Yeah, that was. I don't
Man,
know.
me and John are agreeing tonight. Holy fuck!
Yeah.
that was a little. Yeah, I wasn't too fond of that either.
A lot. It's
I
why
had
a lot
forgotten
of
about
people.
that.
A lot of people said that too. They're like, that was like they said they liked the match, like really, like I did too. But I didn't really like that spot too much. Like he could have left it, especially with the history
Right.
of him actually legit having seizures.
Yep.
In that, like the one with Wade Bear 2015.
Yep.
That was legit. But when he did that, I was like, and then when they stopped, I thought they were gonna stop, and then I was like, and then the referee didn't, and they're like, I was like, okay, he's tricking Okada, like,
Right.
but I still really enjoyed it, but I can't wait for the second one to come, whatever that's gonna be. This rate, to be determined. Your turn, Sam.
Well, yeah, like I said, I enjoyed the match. I think the pay-per-view was good overall. I think we're all in agreement. It was solid. You know, some of us think it's better than last year's. Others think, you know, last year's was better. I'm gonna wait to talk about the points because I really want to keep people on edge of whatever the champion said. So we're gonna get right into this weekend's pay-per-view. We got picks to do, guys. Money in the Bank over in London. 3 p.m. You know, I love when they're overseas because I can watch a pay-per-view and then still go out to eat or something, you know?
Right.
So we're going to get right into this. We have 7 matches, which is, I feel like is a little more for Money in the Bank, but it's been, I don't know how many matches were there last year, the year prior, or maybe I'm thinking the Rumble. I don't know. So we're going to hop right into it. I'm going to go down the line here. If I'm not mistaken, per what Scott and I had put in place recently, or I mean, from year one, you got 2 choices for each Money in the Bank match.
Correct.
Woohoo!
So you know what? We're going to start off with Ethan.
Fuck. Yeah, okay. Pick the youngest one. All right. So this is the men's, right? We're doing. Okay. Oh, damn it. First
You know
one
what? You know, hold a second. I will save those for the end.
Okay.
Because this is what we're here for. So I'm gonna go down. Sorry. Gunther, Matt Riddle for the IC title.
That's gonna be a banger. Give me Gunther. They had good chemistry the one they met, but Gunther's obviously retaining because they're gonna keep him going till September.
He needs to. I'm 100% in agreement. I think Gunther is going to retain. Like you said, it's going to be a good match. I think the last one they had was on SmackDown, I think. And that was really good. But yeah, Gunther's not losing this title anytime soon.
Nope. And he is, as of this recording, he is 2 days away from surpassing Don Morocco.
Nice.
That's what, like third or fourth or something like that? Isn't he like fourth? Yeah, that's what I thought. I knew he was in top 5.
Yeah, because I think Honky Tonk and Macho Man are the only 2 that's ahead of him, like in one reign, I think.
No, also I have Pedro Morales.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Huh. So I think it's a clean sweep with Gunther.
Probably.
Everyone feeling Gunther?
Obviously, this goes to Gunther.
Gunther?
Because who the heck wants to see Matt Riddle as Intercontinental Champion, anyways?
LOL. I think the champ's accent Gunther too, Scott.
He
Yeah.
did. He did.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for me, we're all big Gunther fans, or as his proper name is Walter.
Walter.
I just think it makes sense. He put in his time and effort over in the UK. So I think it's only fair to add him to the ranks of the 400 club for the IC title. If not, take the reign off of Honky Tonk Man at 454.
Yep.
We're at 383 right now as of recording. By the time the pay-per-view comes around, he will be number 4, right behind Savage, Morales, and Honky Tonk Man. So I don't need any other argument. Besides that, he's walking away with that title.
Yep.
Okay. Following that, and John, I'm gonna pick everyone at random. John, we're gonna have here Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler taking on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship.
Not a clean sweep. Let's just be honest here.
Yeah, definitely staying with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler here. They haven't had this title long, and I don't think they're gonna play. WWE doesn't like to play hot potato with their titles as much as AEW does for one certain title. So yeah, I don't see Liv Morgan or Raquel Rodriguez getting this. And keep in mind, I had no idea what the card for this pay-per-view was, so this is the first time I'm seeing this.
Nice.
Woohoo.
There are matches on here I haven't seen before yet, so You're not the only one. So we're going this clean sweep here?
Pretty much.
I think especially since they just won the NXT women's titles, it would be dumb for them to lose the women's titles too.
I mean, Raquel and Liv do have a case because they never physically lost the titles. Liv was injured, so they had to vacate the titles. So I understand why they're doing this match, but it's not, I don't think it's as much as a foregone conclusion as people would think it is, but I still feel that Ronda's made a case in the back to have this team with Shayna. So like it wasn't going to happen until she literally walked in burst into the door and said, listen, this shit needs to happen now. Should have happened years ago. It needs to happen now. So they're running with it. So I don't feel there's any way that unfortunately Liv and Raquel are not getting these titles back.
Okay. Good arguments. Well, Scott, you get to be the one to make the argument for the Bloodline Civil War tag team match. Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa taking on the Usos.
Yeah. The never-ending Bloodline feud continues. And I say that with a positive attitude because the Bloodline stuff for me personally has been probably the best storyline that WWE has done in probably a decade, if not more. Like it's just, there's been moments where it's kind of dull, and then they injected Sammy into the mix, and then it just took off to even higher things. Now we have the split with the Usos, super kicking Roman a couple weeks ago, and Solo, being the Usos' brother, but still loyal to the tribal chief. And I think for me, honestly, this is the hardest match for me to pick.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
It's just, I want, like, my heart says the Usos, and my brain says Roman and Solo, but I'm going to go with my heart, and I'm going to say the Usos, and I think Solo is going to be the one that gets pinned, and then that's going to lead to even more turbulence between Roman and Solo, and then I eventually feel it'll be the Usos and Solo that are just going to turn on Roman. Everybody's saying that now. Jay needs to be the one to take the title off of Roman. Complete full circle from when this whole thing started. I think that would be actually better than Cody winning it, to be honest. That's just my personal opinion. I'd love to see Jey Uso as the WWE champ, or whatever the hell they're calling it, champion now. I feel like that works. So I think that's going to be the SummerSlam match. So I think to get there, the Usos need to win this match to continue that spiral into August. Ethan, what do you think?
Oh shit! I agree with you, Scott. This one's actually, out of the matches, this is like the hardest one. Actually, I'm gonna agree. You know what? Fuck, I'm gonna agree with you. on that one. But I wouldn't be. But in Roman, well, actually, him and Solo lost night champion, so I can't really say though. But yeah, I can see Solo taking the pin, or they do like a DQ for kicking too much ass. But I'm gonna stick with the Usos. I'm gonna agree with Scott on this one. What does Zach pick?
Zach actually went with the bloodline. So
Nice.
there's some division there. So I like this. He did pick Ronda and Shayna as well. So he stayed uniform with the rest of us. But John, what do you think?
This is one of the tougher ones.
Right?
As this feud is the reason people tune into SmackDown every week, pretty much. I would have to agree with you guys, and probably that the Usos should win here. The obvious thing here is that Roman Reigns is not eating any clean pins anytime soon.
No.
That's not going to happen. So
No.
that only leaves Solo Sikoa. And you're saying the Reigns and Sikoa, they did lose at Night of Champions. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, today. Yeah.
That makes it tougher then, but I feel like the safe bet is the Usos here. Just to keep that story going, because obviously it's going to keep going and going and going for a while.
Yep.
So yeah, I'd probably stick with the Usos.
And
Feeling Usi.
Feeling Usi, I like it.
You know what? Again, I haven't watched, but you kind of pretty much made the argument I was thinking. I think, and again, there's enough of this bloodline stuff online to kind of paint the picture of how things have been going. And I got the tweet notifications, so I kind of know from Scott when he tweets what's going on.
Yep.
And it only makes sense, I think, that the Usos get the W on this one. So I'm going to prove the champ wrong. Both champs. And say that the Usos win.
Nice.
Okay, so for me, I guess I'll take the lead on this one. Man, this card is almost predictable. I think a lot of these are. I'm saying that, and we're all gonna fucking walk away 0 and whatever.
Yeah, it's gonna be the opposite.
Right.
Seth and Finn for the World Heavyweight Championship, the rematch I've been looking for since Finn Balor won the inaugural Universal Championship years ago. I want Finn to have a championship, but I don't think Seth is dropping this new title anytime soon. So I'm hoping they put on a great match like they did back. What was that, 2016?
2016, yeah.
Yeah.
2016, yeah.
They also had a match like a month ago, Scott, I think, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't John, just for recollection, that was at SummerSlam. You and I went like the month before to that Raw?
I believe so.
That was my first wrestling event. So the month before that match happened,
yeah,
we went to the Raw where they announced Daniel Bryan and Mick Foley as the GMs. So
yes,
I hope this is a good match. I'm gonna say Seth though.
I'm gonna go last.
Ooh, okay.
Under whose declaration?
The former champion.
All right, I'll chime in here on this one. See, for me, this is the toughest one for me because I can think of like some decent fantasy. I mean, in my opinion, some decent fantasy booking here from this because like Finn Balor hasn't really had many world title opportunities since he was forced to vacate that Universal title. I believe he had a match with Brock Lesnar at one point for the title.
The Rumble, in 2019.
Years ago. Not really anything since then. So in a match with Seth, nonetheless, which he won that title. And then he had to give it up the very next night. So it works in that regard. And you also have Damian Priest in a Money in the Bank ladder match, also on the card. So you could potentially have Finn Balor as champion, and he has the Money in the Bank briefcase, and then that's like some dissension in the Judgment Day, which I'd say that's the second most interesting part of the WWE television right now is them. But at the same time, I don't think Finn Balor is world champion material right now. Like, I think of all of the people in the Judgment Day, probably Damian Priest is the one that they're pushing more as a single guy right now. And also, Seth Franklin Rollins just won this title. So I have to say that might go towards more of my reasoning to pick Seth here, because I think he'll be champion at least for a little while. It's a brand new title. You're establishing it and establishing a champion and a name with it. So I sense some things that could be done with Finn, but I'll play it safe and I'll stick with Seth.
Ethan, buddy, it's your turn.
Thanks, buddy. But I like these two. Like, they have nothing but great matches. But I'm gonna agree with John and Sam. I'm gonna say Seth Rollins. I did like Balor's promo, like this vicious side of him, the last couple weeks. But I know he did 2 NXT title reigns, but I mean whatever. But like main roster, it's just like he didn't get much. But honestly, I can see Balor holding it in the future, just not right now. I'm gonna say Rollins as well.
All right.
Scott, buddy.
Let me paint this picture for you.
It was a hot summer night.
Last time the UK had a big event, not counting Clash at the Castle, SummerSlam 92. You have Brett, everything, crowd's all excited. Not really local people. Who do we have here? Finn, local kid from the UK.
Another reasoning. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're right.
Reason.
You're right.
Yeah.
I was in the same boat as where you are, John, with Finn for a long time. Like he didn't seem like the leader of the Judgment Day. You know, like when Edge was there, he was the leader. You knew that right off. Then when Finn joined and they kicked out Edge, I was kind of like, well, now they're, you know, kind of a ship without a captain. They were, you know, and they floundered for a while. Now they've seemed to pick up steam and they're going. Priest, I think, has been doing amazing things. But Finn has turned it on too. And Ethan had mentioned it, that Finn's promo work and his constant attacks of Seth and just bringing out this ultra aggressive side that is not anti demon, but just a turned up Finn Balor. And also for this being like a big pay-per-view, like one of the big pay-per-views in the UK, why not make a splash? I'm picking Finn Balor to upset Seth Rollins.
Ooh.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
It is. And you know
Let's
what?
see if it pays off.
It may cost me this whole thing, and I'm fine with that. But I think that would be an incredible image to use in future everything for them to go back to the UK. And since Finn's from the UK,
Ta-da.
I think that would be ridiculous for them not to pull something off like that.
Yeah, this is because you have Finn is technically the hometown hero, but Seth has his woes.
Exactly.
Who's gonna come out on top?
Right. And the thing of it is, this is not the end. I feel like this feud will continue. So yeah, they might play a little hot potato with the title, but that's fine. If it's a good feud, then the title can change hands a couple times, and it's not going to hurt the title.
Maybe they'll play the opposite with this world title, whereas we have one world title that will never change hands, but we have this one that always changes hands.
I mean, maybe. I mean, if you want to make that the gimmick for it, I mean, if you have good wrestlers being the champion, it's not going to make the championship look bad. It just means that the talent is that good that they can beat anybody. It's like any given Sunday for football. Anybody can win at any moment. But yeah, I feel like if they're going to go to the UK to do this and they're going to make a big splash, I feel like Finn Balor beating Seth Rollins would be a huge shocker. And I feel like that would be a good move for at least for the interim.
Are you by yourself or just Zach join you?
No, no. Zach picked Seth. So
Huh.
I'm all alone on this island, and I'm okay with that.
So as of right now, the tiebreaker is going to be
The tag
Finn?
match in the World Title.
Yeah, it's going to be the World Heavyweight Championship match and the Bloodline Civil War.
Yep.
And so far, if the three of us, the three of us are in line right now. So Scott and the champion are the only ones. But hey, if Scott gets the win here, that means he can get the card. But we're going to go over to the next match. Cody taking on Dominic. Ethan, we're gonna hop right back over to you, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. I'm gonna say Cody. But I wouldn't be surprised if Brock Lesnar shows him, beats the fuck out of him, and gives Dominic the win. But I'm gonna stick with Cody because Dominic should beat Cody.
Yep. Yeah, same vein as Ethan. I definitely expect Brock to show up, but I think it's going to be after the match. But yeah, Cody's not losing to Dominic, even though Dominic's doing all these hit and run bullshits. But yeah, once they get in the ring, I don't care if Rhea tries to get involved. Cody's not losing this match. Do
you think Brandy gets involved?
I would not be upset. It's
You
open
think
mic
Pharaoh
night.
gets involved.
Don't Mike Night, bitch.
That's right. If Pharaoh gets involved, it's all over.
You know what? Let's bring Pharaoh. Fuck it.
Right.
Get away from my owner.
So, is everyone on the Cody train?
Choo choo. Sorry.
Definitely on that road, I
Nah.
would say.
But,
Yeah, there's no way Dominic's taking a victory over Cody.
watch Zach will say Dominic.
They
No,
should
Zach
do,
actually
they-
said Cody.
They should do Brandy versus Rhea
Oh my
or
god.
something like that.
For the world title.
Who told you, Rhea, that it was open mic night? Bitch.
I kind of want that to happen now. Just
Oh, it
Rhea
should.
gets it, and then Brady just shows up.
That'd be hilarious.
She's been talking trash on social media, so I mean it's possible.
We
can't let Zach win 2 pay-per-views back to back.
It's true.
I'm very tempted to say Dominic because I've been doing pretty well in the WWE department as of recent. In my you guys obviously watch the product more than I do, but I wouldn't be surprised if Dominic gets this win. Because Cody's in hard times, folks. Cody's still in hard times. And what's harder times than Dominic? And you know what? I'm going to do it.
I hate that you're making this pick and it makes sense.
Right?
Because even Shawn Michaels and Road Dogg both said Cody is in hard times right now. And what's a harder time than him losing to Dominic?
Oh my god. I can just see Dominic now already. Oh god, help me.
I beat Cody. Whoa.
Sure.
All right. So, Money in the Bank. The women's match. We have Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Bailey, Io Sky, and Trish Stratus.
Well, we know what Scott's one picks are going to be.
No.
Maybe.
So I'll kick this one off for you guys since I kind of have an idea. Zoe Stark has been my girl for a long time, ever since she joined NXT.
Can confirm.
And the fact that she's within 6 months of being on the main roster, she is in Money in the Bank. I want to see her with that briefcase. I would love to see her in the championship, in the title picture. Zoe's one of mine.
Okay.
And I'm also gonna say, another favorite. I was gonna go with Zelina because I was thinking Zelina, but I'm going with Io Sky, another personal favorite of mine.
Okay.
I know she's still part of Damage Control.
Yeah.
And Bailey's in there, and I don't know if there's any friction going on there, but
There is.
There is.
Also, Zoe is with Trish.
Oh.
She's
Are they
Trish's protege.
Are they supposed to add one more person to this match or no?
No,
No, I
it's
don't
the
think
6.
Yeah.
Well, because the men's match has 7.
because they added Logan Paul in.
Because
Okay.
he pulled a Charlotte and cashed in his Logan in the bank, so he got
Correct.
put it.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of Logan Paul, he
Uh,
got prime thrown at him in Copenhagen. I couldn't stop laughing for 15 minutes.
so funny. But those are some good picks, Sam. I do like those.
Me too.
It's interesting with this match because there's two, like we had mentioned, there are two teams in this match. You know, you have Damage Control, obviously sans Dakota Kai because she's out with injury. And there's obvious friction between Io and Bailey, so I definitely expect there to be something going on between the two of those at some point. I kind of feel like Becky Lynch is the albatross in this match because she does not need to be here. But they've made mention of it on television that this is the only thing that Becky hasn't done. She hasn't won Money in the Bank yet. And I'm like, oh, Christ. Is that just saying right then and there that this is going to be her John Cena moment? And she has to do everything, so she's going to win this.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then, of course, there's thank you, Trish, because Trish Stratus is, yes. I don't need to say anything else about that. Yeah. And then I love Zoe being in there too for Sam's reasons. Like she's a very excellent wrestler, and her being Trish's protege is just a perfect fit for her. So for me, my safe pick, obviously, I wasn't going to pick this at first, but my safe pick will be Becky because I feel like if they're going to give her that, might as well. The only person I know that is definitely not getting this is Bailey. And it saddens me to say that because she's already done it. So there's no need for her to do it again, I don't think. I like that they're actually trying to make new stars in both the men's and the women's side. So if it's not Becky, I was going to pick Io, but I feel like Bailey's going to screw her in the end. But I also feel like maybe Trish will screw Becky. I don't know. This one's actually kind of tough now that I'm looking at this.
Right?
You know what? I'm going to say Becky and Trish.
And just to clarify for everybody here that this is kind of like Royal Rumble where you got you got multiple picks, but you know, nothing one of them in, great. I mean, yeah, you just need one of them to win. Nothing special.
Yep.
All right. John or Ethan, who wants to go next?
Scott, you're right that this is a bit of a tougher one. Yeah, Becky is definitely the safe one here in the fact that she hasn't done it before. And she's also, I guess, if they'll probably have at least one not hometown, but one person from around there to win probably that night, and it might be her.
Maybe.
Since she's from the UK. So I will go with her. My next one would be probably Trish, being the veteran in a sense in this match. She hasn't done that before.
Surprisingly, this is actually her first ladder match in her entire career.
Which is crazy.
There you go. There you go. So I will go with her. A third one. This is a little bit tough here.
No, we're just doing the two, so you don't have to worry about.
Oh, just two. Okay.
Yeah.
So you said Becky and Trish.
Yeah, why not?
All right, Ethan.
Fuck, this is tough. Oh my god. Like, well, I'm gonna pull John. I'm gonna do process elimination. Selena Vega's not winning. Like Selena Vega, but not her time. Like Scott said, Bailey already won. She don't need it to do unless they want to do the first ever. Oh no, sorry. Technically, if she does win, she'll be the technically second ever.
Right, because Carmella was the first.
Yeah, I actually forgot about that for a second. I do really like Zoe Starks, but I also really like Io. I've been following her career pretty much to Stardom, where I still laugh where that's the Stardom actual page roasted that guy.
That was great.
That was great. So I'm gonna go with Io's guy because I already said it last show that I was picking her. fucking, I'm gonna say Becky Lynch because, like Scott said, if they want to have her that the John Cena to win like everything, because Asuka already did it.
Right.
So if she could be the second, I'm gonna go with Becky and Io. There, if I had to do an honorable mention, I could see Trish. Honestly, I'm not picking Trish. I'm picking Io and Becky.
Yeah.
So I kind of took half of Scott's and John's and half of Sam's.
Yeah. And Zach picked Becky and Trish as well.
Yep.
Yep, and only one of us can be right.
It's
Good
true.
luck, guys. Good luck on second. So we got the men's Money in the Bank. Last but not least, 2 picks here, guys. We got Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Butch, Damian Priest, and Logan Paul.
For me, this is actually the easiest pick of the night. First pick, obviously, LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Second pick, Damian Priest.
Ooh.
I was gonna pick Shinsuke, but after he lost to Ricochet, I'm like, nope. And John had mentioned it earlier that they've been pushing Priest to the moon.
To
The moon.
Oh, I love you guys.
We love you too.
But I mean, it's just for me, it just feels like either one of those two can win.
Yeah.
So that's for me. That's my pick.
Well, I'll go next. So it's me and Scar, the only two actually watch it live. So if it was just a 6, I actually would agree with Scott. But unfortunately, since dickhead Logan Paul mentioned it, I keep on gonna say him. But yeah, Logan Paul's gonna be one. And I know Scott. I hate myself too. I know. Priest is an honorable mention though. But I'm gonna go with LA Knight. I'm gonna half agree with Scott for LA Knight and Logan Paul. Fuck, I hate saying that. Like Nakamura, like honestly, they dropped the ball with him years ago. Like Ricochet, I'm gonna be honest, is never gonna hold it. Honestly, Butch is only there because of his hometown. Speaking of hometowns, Escobar, I can, just not right now.
Right.
Next like 5 years maybe, but Priest's been to the moon. But if I don't mention Priest, but I'm gonna go with LA and Logan. Honestly, I fucking hate saying that one.
So, looking at the whole card, or looking at this whole match, I did read something. Supposedly, there's going to be a great upset at Money in the Bank. I don't know if it's the men's Money in the Bank. I don't know if there's going to be another match where there's going to be a great upset.
Well, I mean, Sam, I already talked about that great upset. So
is everyone losing and me getting another W? Yeah.
No.
What? How about our scores after the prediction show? Come on, we forgot to adjourn for Big Door. But
we'll talk about that.
So I want to say Paul, just to be like, okay, he's in this match, and there he signed a multi-year deal. However, I don't feel like this is one of those things you can give Paul and be like, oh yeah, you're just gonna get a W here. There's a lot more implications here.
Yeah.
He's had his title match with Roman Reigns.
Yep.
He's had a banger at WrestleMania. He's had a good match with Seth at Mania. Was it Seth? Who did he wrestle? Was it Seth this year?
Yeah, it was Seth. You're right, Sam.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yep.
I do not. I'm going to fall into line here with Scott and Zach. I think it's going to be LA Knight and Damian Priest. I want to say Paul, but I don't think that's like putting him in the Royal Rumble and letting him win.
Right.
I think even the Paul fans would be like, because I've gained so much respect for the guy. So when he's on a show, I'm not mad.
Yeah.
He can wrestle.
He does get a good heel, though.
He's not Ken Shamrock. He's not coming from the UFC going in here. And, he's kind of like hey, this is some like cross promotional. Everyone knows Logan Paul. Everyone knows WWE. Cross them together. You get more publicity that way.
Right.
So I won't be surprised if Paul wins, but I don't think it's the right call. So it's going to be Knight and Priest for me.
Did you say Zach said the same as you two?
Yes.
Okay. But why is Braun Strowman on this match?
Oh, believe me. You and I have discussed this at length. I understand.
We have.
I know.
He beat Ricochet Nakamura.
I know.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I don't know.
Trips. Make it 8. Fuck it. Put 8 in there.
I would love that, but it won't happen. But no, I agree. The one thing that I think, obviously I know John and Sam don't watch, Ricochet has beef with Logan Paul for their Rumble spot too. So that's why I think that Paul's not going to win, because Ricochet will take him out of the equation.
You know, I wouldn't mind a match between those two, honestly.
I think that could be a SummerSlam match.
Me too. But I feel like WWE would be like, "Oh, you're the celebrity. All right, we'll give you the fucking briefcase." Like they're gonna, like they did with Lesnar years ago. But
I hope not.
I hope it's LA Knight.
That man is so over right now. It's not even funny. Oh my god!
If they don't do it, they're dummy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, in all seriousness though, like if it's not LA Knight or Priest, like I kind of hope I get this one, but not as well. But I hope it's anybody but Logan. But I'm just because I feel like WWE would do something like that.
Right.
But apparently Triple H, there's reports that Triple H does not want Logan Paul winning Money in the Bank.
Right. He's a great celebrity. He brings in a lot of eyes, but he does not need to win these matches.
No.
All right.
John, who do you got, buddy?
Comes down to me. All right. As usual, Statman does a process of elimination. So
I do like his when he does that.
Anyway, so now we start off with Butch. No, sorry.
Pete's
Santos-
Dunne, the hometown boy.
Santos Escobar. No. I'm sorry to say, but Shaky Nakamura. No. They dropped the ball with him. I don't think the spark has kind of come back for him anytime soon.
He should go back to New Japan. There.
Ricochet. Nah, I'm sorry, probably not. All right, so then we left with these three. It's tough. So, well, of these three, one of the definite ones that my gut tells me is LA Knight.
Yeah.
Because they're pushing. This guy is just skyrocketing right now with these cheers and this push behind him.
Yep.
So I mean, what better way to do that and give him a Money in the Bank briefcase? Now this is tough because was Logan Paul just like shoehorned into this match?
He made a call to the top people, and he's like, "I got put in," and everybody was pissed off because like, so why he's not in a qualifying match?
Everybody else had a qualifier to get into the Money in the Bank, which is how it should have been. And then Paul just shows up and goes, "Yeah, I made a phone call and I'm in the match now." So I'm like, son of a bitch.
Charlotte in the
All right.
bank. That's what he's saying.
You know what? That just cemented this last one for me. That'd be such a WWE thing to do. Just put somebody in there randomly and then just let them win. All right, that solidifies it. I'm going with Logan Paul.
So me and John are in agreement.
Yep.
because not only is that annoying, and I feel like their reasoning behind it probably would be that Logan Paul has the notoriety. He gives that publicity, to the Money in the Bank briefcase. Maybe he has it in the background with him and whatever his podcast is.
Oh, that's true.
I can smell this.
You smell the malarkey?
Did anyone see Priest cashing on Balor if they do win?
I thought about that, but yeah, I see this coming. Damian Priest will have his time eventually, but yeah, I feel like it's such an annoyance that it's something WWE would do. So you know what? It'll probably happen.
Good call. So I want to make note here, going off of all of our picks, and before we close out the show, I want to bring this up. So John and I actually got to witness a cash-in 2017. We were there when Baron Corbin cashed in his Money in the Bank
and
I
lost.
forgot about
it. Was that. I think the go home SmackDown
before
before SummerSlam in Providence. So the reason I want to bring this up, and it could be anybody, is Baron Corbin.
There.
What? So I want to bring this up, and this is why I think any of them could still win. That year, there was AJ Styles, it was Dolph Ziggler, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh yeah, that was a SmackDown only pay-per-view at the time.
Yes,
that's right.
So just something I think and I probably we could have talked about it prior. I just like to use this one because that year I think Baron Corbin was on the bottom of the list for me.
Oh, absolutely.
It's on
People
everybody's
don't-
bomb list. What are you talking about?
But
And
I'm
I
talking
love
about
Baron Corbin, and I was not rooting for him in that match at all.
what I'm getting at is, looking at that logic, Santos Escobar could win this weekend.
I would not be upset about that at all.
No, me neither.
I wouldn't either. I like that spot where like AJ was hanging on. I was like the Jeff Hardy edge just for the
Yes.
spear part. And
Yes.
AJ's like, well, I guess I got no choice. Whee! Face playing. I'm like, oh my god, I'm trying to him.
And the way like his arms and legs were flailing as he falls, it was ridiculous.
help me.
So good.
Right. So we're closing out the show, Money in the Bank this weekend. Let's quickly talk about the Forbidden Door final points. We personally have talked about them. We'll close out the show. Scott running down the numbers and giving us the champ's note.
Yeah, so Mr. Zach got the win with 13 points, edged out Ethan by 1, Samina by 2, and unfortunately John was in last with 9. This was a bitter pill to swallow for all of us, and obviously the champ not being here tonight just further, infuriating all of us. But the champ was gracious enough to forward me a memo to deliver to the rest of the group here. Now, I have not read this because I want my reaction to be genuine, just as everybody else is. I know John's so disgusted he's already left. But coming from the champion, he says, it should surprise no one that I won Forbidden Door with a nearly perfect record and put myself back at the top of the leaderboard where I belong, even though I'm currently tied with the SOB for now. What may surprise you is that I've decided to no-show the Money in the Bank. It has come to my attention that Above the Ring thinks I am contractually obligated to appear on every pickup show. So I decided to make it crystal clear that ATR needs me more than I need ATR. And I hate him for this. No matter who is in the lead after Money in the Bank, I am still the defending champion. And I alone will decide when the ATR audience deserves to hear my golden pipes. So read off my picks, peasants. And the next time I do decide to show up for a pick'em show, maybe you'll learn to appreciate and acknowledge me. Sincerely, your reigning, defending, undisputed champion, Mr. Zach. I feel like I'm going to vomit now, and I'm going to hand this over to Sam so we can wrap this up before we go to do our live stream.
Guys, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter. You can find us all. I'm not even going to say the Twitter names. You guys know at this point. You can find Above the Ring on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. We're on all streaming platforms. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review, tell people I should be students in Above the Ring's podcast if you're choosing why they should listen to us as well. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to ship it. And as always, do not forget to join the Bedlam.